Who? What's going on YouTube is Donnie B all day. So, when we think of Swiss Army knives, right? Everybody knows a Swiss Army knife. You generally think of, red scales on a knife that looks a lot like this, right? And it's just your typical Swiss Army knife where you pull a blade out of one spot and then you say, oh my gosh, look at that. It's got something else and something else and something else. And it's got a few things tucked away inside of there. Just your typical Swiss Army knife, right? That's what you're looking at. You see that little symbol right there? Swiss Army knife. And you get so excited. Now, there's two major brands of Swiss Army knife. And if you're talking about getting a real Swiss Army knife, there's only two that you should ever buy. For me, the ultimate, and for most people, because it's the ultimate, is the Victorinox. This here is my Swiss Champ, the ultimate and most amazing multi-tool on the planet. I love this thing. It is absolutely packed and jacked. This is a serious, serious piece. Outside of that, the other big brand, the other very well-known brand is this one, Swiza. And Swiza, I think it's Swiza, is the other very well-known classic red-handled Swiss Army knife. Victorinox, though. So, now, the difference between this one and those is this one has just one blade. And you think to yourself, well, how is it a Swiss Army knife if it has just one blade? Doesn't that take the whole meaning away from Swiss Army knife? Swiss Army knife means multiple functions. Well, they do offer one function that comes with it. And like all good Swiss Army knives, you have some tweezers. And you don't realize how important tweezers are until you get a piece of wood stuck under your skin and you need to get it out. So, maintaining the Swiss Army knife function, you have a secondary piece of something. Now, there are some specs on here. We are looking at, let's get it right in there, 3 3/4 inch closed knife. It's got, it says stainless steel. I'm not sure because it's Swiza and I'm a Victorinox guy. This might be 4116. I'm not 178,000% sure, but it could be. Now, this one is called the Garden Floral knife in red. So that's what the model is. It's a satin finish stainless blade. I guess you can call it satin. It looks fairly polished, but it's not. I guess it's satin. And red rubberized synthetic comes with tweezers. And what else does it come with? A safety lock. So basically it's a liner lock. They're just trying to make it sound like there's more in here than there is. So that is that. Now, hello. There's not a lot we could do with this little guy because it is what it is. It's made for gardening. This is going to be your little gardening tool, hence the tweezers, because when you're gardening, you're going to get splinters. And that's exactly what this little knife is made for. I'm wondering. Let's see if we can use this little knife. It does have, let me go over it a little bit. The rubberized handle is slick but textured at the same time. It's not bad. The operation of the knife would be better if they had a thumb notch to get to the liner lock. But as far as the actual opening of the knife, having that giant thumb hole there means it's good for a pinch open especially, but you have your serious raised ramp right here that is jimped. It's a slick jimping. It's almost like it doesn't even matter, but it does work. It does work, and you do have the liner lock, so you can press on it and get a good dig. Now, it does have this swoop right here, giving you a nice hold. It is a sheep's foot design, which obviously, and everybody knows, was made to shave a sheep's hoof. That's what it was made for, but turns out these are really good for gardening. So what we're going to do is we are just going to see how the end of this sheep's foot is going to work. And look at that. Look at that. So, little flap open right there. It comes pretty freaking sharp. And when I say pretty freaking sharp, I mean like shave Bigfoot sharp, because I just dropped some. But anyway, I have some left. It literally just took some hairs off and I dropped them because it's what I do, guys. I ruin everything. I'm just the ultimate ruiner. Oh man. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm out of the shot. I got yelled at for that before. Like I must have a bucket of hair below me. Oh man, I am literally, if you guys could see, like right here, no hair, right here, hair. Since I'm dropping the hairs, I might as well just show you the nice, I mean, you could see it is picking it up. Wow, that just like shaved my skin off. But it is right here where I was just shaving, and then this is where I got my nice grind. But look at that, man. Look at that. It is cutting them down. Is it the sharpest knife I've ever used for shaving? No, I think it's nice though. I think the Victorinox definitely came sharper, but this has got a really nice edge. And while it does cut plastic bottles, that's not what it's made for. So I say we just go and try to use it for what it's made for, and see what kind of like a little pruning stuff we can do. We'll just go and knock some out. This isn't like one of those must-buy knives. It's just a classic Swiza, the brand. You know, it's a Swiss Army knife brand, where if you have somebody who loves to do some gardening and pruning and is always potting flowers and stuff, and they always need a little gardening knife, this could be the one. So close. Luckily, I like to wear flip-flops when I play with knives. So how does it stand to a Victorinox? It doesn't. Swiza is like the second ultimate Swiss Army brand, but it is no Victorinox. And I love this brand. But gotta be honest with you. All right, so let's turn off that TV. I was watching some Simpsons, and you know, I love that educated television. So let's take a walk out there. It looks like we're getting ready for some rain, and it's crazy because I've been doing gardening, and I freaking hate gardening, but I've been doing gardening the last couple days. You all know this area, it's usually full of crap and weeds and stuff, and then this area right here, I did all this, and down there. So I figured, why not break out a knife that's made for such things after it's already done, of course. All right, so let's take a walk to the stump and test some of the regulars first. Hold on. All right, so now this is a little gardening knife, so it's not going to have all the bigger knife attributes, but it is a Swiss Army knife, and it should be good and tough, even though it's little and thin. The drop test, there's no way this little light blade is going to, oh my God, and it did. You could see how far over that handle, because from a 4-foot drop, oh, it actually stuck in. That's pretty funny. From a 4-foot drop, the handle is just going to absolutely overpower the weight. Let's see here. Try to find a balancing point, and it is way off. I mean, way off as far as weight to the rear. Let's see here. I mean, it's like halfway down the handle. That's about where it is, right there. So, I mean, you can see where all the weight is going to. It's all from here to here. I love that. So let's do a couple hard downward throws, and we'll see how the liner lock holds up. Because it's not made for impact, this particular knife, but you know, I believe it should be. Now, while I was saying earlier about the lock, you'll notice there's nothing to get inside. So in order to get the liner lock, you need to have some kind of fingernail, and I barely do. So that kind of sucks for me. Boop. All right, look at that. First try. Let's try and do a push cut with it. And it is sharp. Ah, I just tore my finger. All right, so it is really sharp. It cut through, no freaking problem. Let's see here. Let's see what else we can do. I'm gonna bleed all over the place. So let's see. Now it is made to obviously like prune stuff down, so it's not made as a survival knife, but we will see. Now I'm getting a lot of bite, which is bad for feather sticking because all it wants to do is go through. It wants to dig, 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 dig. So for feather sticking, it's not exactly happy, you know what I mean, doing that kind of work. I'm going to get blood all over this thing now. I'm going to get blood all over, I'm going to bleed all over it. All right, so let's see. Having a little finger period here. Oh, let's see. So it is definitely not made for these kind of tasks. It is, talking definitely not made for these tasks. It does not like it. So let's try to close this. Now, I might have to go wash up because I'm going to get blood all over this. So I know it looks like this, but it's really not that bad. It's a little nick. It's those little hairline cuts that always bleed the most. You can lose a finger and not bleed that much. You give yourself a little cut and you're like, oh, it's death. So let me wrap that at least a little bit so I can show you guys this thing without getting it all nasty. Hold on. And just like that, we're all fixed up. Got a little Band-Aid so the ninnies don't freak out. All right, so I'll tell you, if you're a knife reviewer and you haven't bled by a knife, you are no knife reviewer. Either that or you're way smarter than me. All right, so let's get over here because we got all this stuff right here. So I'm wondering if we can get a good angle and maybe we can do a little pruning. We got some little flower stuff growing right here, and since I didn't plant it, I don't care about cutting it. All right, here we go. Let's open you guys up and we'll see how all this works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this way just across. I'll use the little thumb ramp, and as you see, it is a very, very nice little cut. This is the kind of stuff this is made for, so this is the kind of stuff I'm going to test it with, just so I can keep it consistent and make sure that it does what it's supposed to do. Look at that, there's two of them. It just went through so easily. So easily. Let's get another. Now, these are not supposed to be growing here, honestly. This is the dog's cage. So this all has to come down eventually anyway. So don't freak out about me cutting away all these nice flowered things. I'm not even sure what it is. I think it's some kind of weed that just happens to be pretty. So it's a pretty weed. So let's see if I can't cut through it this way. Now I got a nice thick piece, and it is definitely giving me a pain in the nuggets type of time. And while this brand is really good, the Swiza brand, this knife so far, I'm not particularly fond of. It's not doing it for me. It's not giving me that wow type thing with, with a knife. So let me cut those down right there, and I'll take another one, and I'll probably put it inside and surprise the woman. So a little saw action right there. That took that off completely. Somebody just pulled into my driveway. I don't know who it is. I've got a knife in my hand. I'm gonna go find out. Looks like they thought my driveway was a side street. That's the problem with having a big driveway. So let us continue. I knocked down two of them. Aha, one went missing. And so now I will take down the third and give it a nice little slice. Now, I'm noticing that the rear of the blade or the rear of the edge isn't as fine as the front, and this is a wedge right here, so you can see how it's sharpened on this side but not on that side. It's a the edge is called a wedge, where they only do one side. I am no fan of that. Being a lefty, I'm generally cutting on the wrong side. So if I was right-handed, it cuts a lot easier than left-handed, just because the edge is going the wrong way, you know what I mean? And it's one of the reasons I absolutely hate, and it's not this brand, it's just this model. They don't do all their knives like this. I absolutely hate these cuts because they favor one hand. And, you know what I mean? In a world where everything should be ambidextrous, well, there's not a lot of blade wobble there. It's actually pretty good. But in a world where, you know what I mean, there's more and more knife people every day, you'd think that understanding that not everybody is right-handed. You would make a knife that has just a better edge. So what I'm going to do to make this knife even better, and I think I will donate it to Shelly because she hates gardening too, but she does more than I do because I find excuses not to be here. I'm going to sharpen this proper, and I'm going to take the other side down as well, make this crazy sharp, and give it to her to use out here because she might really like this, and she'll be able to use it a lot more than me. As far as overall quality is good. The knife is good as far as the shape for the style it is. It's good. This edge, not good. It's made, like I said, for right-handed people. You're starting to get a little windy here. You guys are starting to wobble. I wonder. Oh, now you've seen when I was concentrating, I was having a harder time cutting through some of these thick ones. I was able to just come down on it. That was pretty nice. That one actually took me by surprise. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 that I already cut, all right? We're going to bring them back over to the stump. And this is what we're going to do. Ooh, hello. Ooh, how are you? How's your daddy? All right, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to line them up this way so I can get about, you see how long this one is, how short these ones are? I'm going to put it in a little vase type thing because I'm going to cut down these flowers. I might as well at least use them, right? Because that would be the nice thing to do, the right thing to do. So I'm just going to push on them to get a nice even cut. And now they're ready to go on display, and they'll last a few days in the house. And that'll be nice, like nice guy D-Bad. Overall, comfort is there. The usability of the hump and the sway inside that spine is good. The brand Swiza is really good. This model is model specific. Telling you guys, this is a right-handed person's floral knife. If you have to go and let's say you got rose bushes or whatever and you have to go do some trimming, this is your knife for that. But literally, that's what that knife is. There's nothing else. So, you know what I mean? You want to understand what you're getting the knife for. If it says, oh, hiccup. If it says, this is what it's for. Ooh, I had a little burp in the end of that hiccup. That was delicious. I had Chinese food. If it says this is what it's for, sometimes believe it, because I know there's some knives that say it's for this or for that, and like fighting knives. Like I could take my D-Bad OEF Defender or my D-Bad War Machine, which are just built to be murderous nicely against Bigfoot, but I can take those camping any day of the week and survive all day, every day, no problems. So, what do I think of this? This is a not for me knife because I'm not a gardener. However, if I was a gardener, and I was right-handed, this would be a for me knife. Because I have the ability to change the grind and I know what I'm doing, I'm going to make this a any hand knife. And who knows, maybe I will use it for stuff. I could definitely use it as a utility knife, no problem, because it's strong enough. And once I put another edge on it, then it'll have more uses. So that's what I'm going to do. Can I recommend this knife if you are a florist? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you are going out into the jungle and you need something to survive with, you need a carry-along knife that's going to be your go-to backup knife, abso-freaking-lutely not. Do not buy this knife. If you are a gardener or you have a spouse who is a gardener, or a mother who is a gardener, or a grandmother who is a gardener, or an aunt who is a gardener, or a sister who is a gardener, or the chick that works across the street is a gardener, and you need a good gardening knife, then yeah, absolutely. Why not? Buy this freaking knife. And they're really, really affordable. These are really cheap. I don't remember how much. I just remember really cheap. So, Swiss Army love right here to the Swiza. Now, you can get their Swiss Army knives style Swizas, and you're going to get a better knife than this because it's going to, have more functions. But if you're going to go out to get a really, really great Swiss Army knife, I would say get Victorinox. If you can't get a Victorinox and these are what's offered aside from a bunch of other brands. Get this one over the other brands. Victorinox first, Sweet's second, then you can go down the line. But that's it. I had fun bleeding on this one. I'm going to go inside and plant these in some water and end this one before it rains. I am Donnie B all day, Mama Shredder. You heard that. Until next knife.